Welcome, fellow scumbags. I'm Danielle of Ripperoni Racing, and it's a fab weekend up here at Crane Auto Works. It's hot as absolute balls already, so chances are I'm probably going to come up here and work through the night instead of doing this, sweating my balls off in this oven all day. But anyway, this is the last big metalwork project that I have to do on this car, which is making room for the upper control arms and mounting coilovers. I got two 5-foot sections of 1.5 DOM and some 3/16-inch plate for my lower mounts, 1/8-inch plate for mounting the tubes and capping off my frame rails. But I also have some goodies from the local speed shop, and these are going to make my life so much easier. Is prefab shock mounts, but also I found these guys, which I wasn't really expecting, for the lower mounts. So that'll just save me a lot of time of not having to make that shit myself, which is kind of nice, even though I can. So in general, what I plan to do is start probably somewhere around in here with the DOM, come up, have one bend and come straight across to make it easy to mount the shock mount wherever I need it to be, height-wise and angle. And then I'll have another bend and it'll come down and end at the pocket I made for the subframe mount in the front. And then I'll have all the room in the world for this upper control arm to travel and somewhere to mount my coilovers. Plus it'll look really fucking cool. This is like viewing it from this way. Here's the world's shittiest drawing. Just very basic. More or less how I want it to look. That's kind of just a basic idea of the lower mount. But yeah, I think it's all gonna work together really nicely, and I'm excited to get started. So ready to drive this car. Let's go. Exactly what ride height's gonna look like right off the bat. So I'm gonna take, it's fully extended right now. I'm gonna take an overall measurement and then subtract 1 inch because I'd have to cut the sleeves on the inside, but I do want to aim for using the top hole, so that way if this ends up compressing a whole lot with the weight of the car on it, then I can go down to that bottom hole and take up the adjustment there, just in case. I'm going to measure from the center of my groove here, because that's where it's going to hit the very bottom of the tubing. Come on, you floppy cock. 13 1/8 inches minus 1 inch, so 12 1/8. And that's with a little bit of angle. I don't intend on it coming straight up and down from the tube. I want it to angle out a little bit. So the center of that eyelet's going to end up being about 1/2 inch from the bottom of the lower control arm. I'm just going to mark on here in general where I want the bottom of my DOM pipe to go. And then I'll work on figuring out the angle I want for my first bend. And then I get to try and figure out how to use the bender, because Boss Man's not here, and I've never used it before. One eternity later. My first tube still needs to be cut down the size a bit, but I just want to go ahead and match the bends in the other pipe so that I know if I have to buy another tube of DOM in the morning if I fuck it up. Here they are. They're not exact laser precision, but for my first time using a bender and just eyeballing them, I'm pretty fucking happy with it. I got to do some prep work in here. I need to cut out these little notches so I have room to weld my plates there, and get rid of this top layer of the floor pan so that I can see the actual frame rail underneath, and again, be able to put the plates there. And then I'll need to grind some of these welds flatter, and probably the same thing on the edge where we had tacked the piece of that floor pan in place, thinking it was going to stay there. It's been a long night, and it probably shows on me, but as you may or may not be able to see, the sun is now coming up. But I have this side all prepped and ready to tack my plates in. I've got them sprayed with a weld-through paint. And while my GoPro was charging, I went and got my first hoop measured and cut. I basically just more or less eyeballed a lot of it. I just got it lined up with the mark I made and used this guy just to check for level, but that's basically it. I'm gonna get the plates tacked in, make the other hoop, copy it off of this one, and get it tacked, and then get everything all welded. Well, I wanted to check that my heights were the same, and it appears to be dead nuts level. Remember when I said that I'm the world's best welder? Yeah, me either. So I'm not exactly showing this off, but here it is. They exist, and they'll do the thing. Angle grinder go brrrr. That one's eh. I did okay around the DOM, but for some reason around my plates was really giving me problems. I messed with the welder settings a bunch, and I don't know if I just had contamination or couldn't figure out the settings, but it was really fighting me. See on the pipe there too, like I had pretty good sections. That looks all right in the back edge. I did somewhat feel the need to show a weld that I am actually proud of. Sometimes I'm good at what I do. But anyway, now it's time to use one of my most favorite tools ever. good progress is made. I've got those frame rails very out of my way. All the way out of the way. But got a lot of raggedy edges to clean up. Not a big deal. I think my cuts turned out better on that side for sure. But again, they don't really matter. Just need some grindage. Box off those ends. Ta-da! Looks a lot better, a lot less haggard already. Still need to go back over some welds and stuff, but I'll do that on my own time. And as well as doing the same thing to the other side. I don't think I need to do both on camera. But yeah, that's exciting as fuck. Wow. It's getting there. Well, I think I'm calling it a night on this video. I got a lot of cleaning up and boring stuff to do before making my coilover purchase. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video even a little bit, please consider subscribing. My first goal is trying to get to triple-digit subscribers, my first 100. So, help me get there and be one of my day one people. Till next time, see you, love you, bye!